Hey everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I wanted to do my favorite makeup products from 2013. I had wanted to do this a couple days ago and I got sick and lost my voice for a solid 3 days. So definitely still sound a little raspy, but I'm getting it back. So I'm getting around to this now. I'm gonna do a couple of these videos, you know, beauty tools, nail favorites, hair favorites, things like that. But this is just makeup. So, and these are products that I have loved, most of them through the entire year. There are lots of products that I'm loving now that I didn't include in this, but these, I just wanted to be ones that are like complete standouts for me for the year, ones that I can wholeheartedly recommend and just have really loved. So I'll jump right in, and most of these will be no surprise at all. The first, I'll start with my foundation. This is the Guerlain Lingerie de Peau Invisible Skin Fusion Foundation with Sunscreen. I got a sample of this a long time ago, loved it. I love this foundation. Very expensive, but for me, very worth it. Love it in winter and fall and spring. In summer, when it's really humid and hot outside, I have a hard time wearing this. It breaks down on me just because my skin is pretty oily in the summer, but now it's pretty dry, so it's been working well. It's not like a dewy foundation or anything. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't last as well on me in the summer. I would say it's more of a satin finish, not totally matte, but definitely not a dewy finish. I love this because it's so thin and so pigmented. So you get beautiful coverage that really does look as close to skin as possible. It covers beautifully, but you don't need a lot. And that just, I just love it. It just is so flawless looking and beautiful. I'm shade 02, and I mix in, like, I do like a pump or two of 02 and then like a half pump of 03. And in the summer, I'm a little more closer to the 03. But still, I always use the 02, just that's kind of my shade all year round. I just mix in a little bit more. Another foundation that I absolutely love is the Revlon Colorstay. This is the normal to dry skin foundation, the formula. I'm 250 Fresh Beige. This is just a touch dark for me now, but this undertone works for me. Always get the normal to dry, even if you are oily. The combination of oily formula, at least when I tried it years ago, was terrible and cake-like and disgusting. This is so beautiful, covers really well, lasts really well, just drugstore, love that. MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural. I am in the color medium. I have used this for years, kind of go on and off it. I try different products, but I always kind of end up coming back to this. Love this to set my foundation and add a little bit more coverage. Just beautiful coverage, not powdery, not too matte, just has a really nice natural finish. And I especially love this to use as a concealer to cover blemishes. I almost never use a concealer for blemishes. I mean, under my eyes is a different story, but for blemishes, I just have a hard time finding a concealer or using concealer that doesn't almost highlight it more. It can make it look a little darker or just kind of look cakey looking, and I would rather just have a little bit of discoloration than cakiness, unless it's a really, you know, red zit or something like that. This I love. It just has such a nice buildable creamy formula for being a powder. So I'll, you know, either fluff it all over my face. Sometimes I take a sponge and press it, or if I have blemishes, I'll take, you know, my finger and just use a little bit extra and touch it up. And I love it because it's the same exact shade as what I've just put on my skin. I'll, you know, put this all over my face and then use just a little bit extra to cover blemishes. Great coverage for that. And then because it's the same color, you're not accentuating it anymore. It just really covers naturally and beautifully. Love this. I will always have this, you know, with me. I have been using bronzers pretty much every day unless I'm really in a hurry. I just like them to give a little bit of dimension to my face, especially in winter. I'm not trying to look sun-kissed or, you know, beach bronzed. I just want to not look so flat. So my favorite that I just reach for without even thinking is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. This is like really, at the end I have a backup. Love this because it's a great shade, not too orange, it's matte, so I just am not a fan of shimmer bronzers all over the face. I just do not like that look on me. I think it really accentuates pores, makes me look kind of greasy and gross. I just, I really like the way this looks. And I just take it and lightly, you know, kind of fluff it all over and then focus a little bit of contouring, just very soft contouring. But just really like this for every day, just to add a little bit of extra dimension. Then to highlight, I definitely don't highlight every day. I've used it today. This is the LORAC Perfectly Lit in the color Spotlight. This is a wonderful highlighting product. When I do bridal makeup, I use this on all the brides. It is just such a beautiful highlight that looks so natural. I, you know, have it on today. It just adds a sheen to the skin, which is what I want. I really never want sparkle on my face. Even in summer, I'm just like, I think, oh, that would be pretty. And in my head, I think I like the idea of that, but I never like the look of it on my skin. So this is just, it just adds a sheen. It's not sparkly, it's not shimmery. It just kind of adds, you can see where I put it there, just adds a luster. So it just gives you that kind of lit from within look. Love this if I'm going out at night, even if I'm just doing a little bit more on my makeup during the day, I'll add this. To me, it never looks overdone. It just adds such a fresh glow, and especially in winter, I just need something to give my skin a little more oomph. I don't do this every day, but if I feel like my makeup is looking powdery or just like a lot of layers, I use this and love it. This is the Mary Kay Makeup Finishing Spray. This is the Skindinavia brand. Mary Kay is just now selling it, so it's the same as Urban Decay, you know, the all-nighter spray. And I got this trick from Lisa D1, and I really like this for when my makeup is just looking like a lot or powdery. I just spray this really heavily on my face, like tons of sprays, and get it decently wet. And then I use the blow dryer, and it just, because otherwise it would take forever to dry and might like drip. You don't want drips, but you want to get your face decently sprayed, and then I use the blow dryer on a warm setting, and it just kind of sets it all together, and it really gives you a luminous finish. It's amazing. Sometimes I even have to take just a touch of a mattifying powder like right in my T-zone then, but it just kind of melts everything together, makes it look a lot more natural, and then lasts like forever. So highly recommend this. Love that. This is the Makeup Forever Full Cover Extreme Camouflage Cream Concealer. I have the color 6. This will last you so long. It is so pigmented in full coverage, and the reason I love this, I have to do under eye concealer. I have dark circles, I have discoloration. So what I do is I use my Well Rested, which is my next product I'm going to show you. I take my Sephora Pro Airbrush Concealer 57. Okay, and I'll just show you these two products all at once. I don't clean this brush very often because I like to have like a little bit of buildup of the Well Rested, and that's all I use this brush for. So what I do is I take whatever is, I don't put any more Well Rested powder on my brush. I just use whatever's like left on there from the day before, and before I do any under eye concealing, I just kind of rub that in, and I feel like that fills in my lines a little bit and gives a base and something for concealer to absorb onto, because sometimes if I just put it right on my skin, any concealer, it is too moisturizing and then kind of settles in fine lines and doesn't last as well. So I feel like using just whatever's left on my brush and rubbing, like, you know, buffing that in a little bit helps lay a base. Then I take this Makeup Forever concealer. I just use a dot. You only need a little bit, and this shade 6 is a really nice yellowy type tone, and I use my finger and I just really press it in. And with any other concealer I've tried, the more you press and the more you kind of try and rub it in, the more it lifts up. So I'll be rubbing it in so that it blends, but then it's, you know, my darkness is showing through again. Not with this. I think it looks prettier the more you kind of just lightly press it into your skin, and it covers so well, and because it's so pigmented, you only need a tiny bit. It doesn't cake up. It lasts really well. I just love the way this looks under my eyes, and it keeps my under eyes looking the least crepey and the least cakey for the amount of coverage it gives. Then I go back with my Bare Minerals I'm having trouble saying that today. Well Rested, which is an under eye concealer powder that's yellow toned. Just love this. And then I take that Sephora brush again and just put the tiniest bit of this on, and then kind of fluff that over to help set the concealer, because no matter what concealer I try, all of them tend to settle in fine lines. And as much as I love that look of just concealer, it will settle in fine lines and kind of run on me. So using this helps set it, and it adds extra coverage. I mean, it is just beautiful. You have to be careful because it definitely can get cakey if you use too much. And it's easy to do, but if you just use a tiny little bit and fluff it on and then maybe even press it in a little bit, it really covers beautifully, lasts beautifully. Love it. Okay, mascaras. These are, if you look back through my videos, these 3 mascaras are mascaras that I have been using so much, and I just love them. So it's a little bit of overkill, but it will give you gorgeous lashes. So what I do is I curl my lashes, then I use the Covergirl Lash Blast 24 hour, I think it's 24 hour bold or whatever, mascara. I have it in very black. Love this because I love the Lash Blast Volume mascara, love that brush. But for me, you know, it's the same brush, you've all seen it. For me, Lash Blast, the regular, just does not leave my lashes curled. No regular mascara does. So this is the 24 hour, it's pretty much waterproof. But what I do is I curl my lashes, then I do a pretty thin coat of this, coat all the lashes, focusing on the base. I don't worry about the tips of my lashes. And because it has this awesome brush, you know, the more you coat, it just fans out your lashes, separates. It's a great formula. Love, love, love this mascara. But because it's kind of waterproof, it will leave your lashes curled all day long. It just is fabulous. So you do have to use makeup remover to get it off at night, but I don't mind because I would rather have my lashes curled all day. Then I go over with this, and this is Maybelline, the Mega Plush Volume Express Mascara. I have this probably in very black as well. Yes, very black. I let the Covergirl dry just a little bit. I don't want it totally dry, but this is so great for a second coat because I don't want to do all of my mascara with the Covergirl because it definitely is more waterproof and it just would be more difficult to get off. And so I just want a thin coat of that to really keep my lashes curled. I go over with this. This is such a light formula, and the brush is great for doing a second coat because it has like a hinge right here that is very, there you can see there, is very bendable. And so it doesn't clump up and it won't squeeze all your lashes together. I hate when a mascara makes you look like you just have 3 giant thick lashes. I want it to fan out. So this is perfect because you have your base mascara and they're all separated and perfect, and then this just adds volume and length. So I go over it, and then this is what I focus the tips on, and you can just keep building volume with this and it will not get clumpy because it's just such a light formula, and the brush can't really fan out your lashes. It can't move the lashes because it's so kind of floppy. So it just is so great for building volume and keeping your lashes separated the way you want, and it will stay beautiful all day long. I've never had issues with flaking, smudging, nothing. And then for bottom lashes, I just use this every day. I love it. This is the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara in black. Tiny little brush, so that's really handy. I never have a problem using a big brush under my eye. That's not why I use this. I use this because it does not smudge, but it's still easy to get off. It's not, you don't have to work at getting this off at night. At least I don't. But it will not smudge. And it is nice. That brush is nice for just really getting in all your lashes. And it's only 10 bucks, so love that. This is the Laura Mercier Tightline Cake Eyeliner. I use the color Black Ebony. This is my second one because I've used this for years, and I use it with the Tightline Activator Fluid. For the first couple years, I used it with water and liked it, but once I started using the Activator Fluid, so much more black and lasts so much longer. I love this as an eyeliner. What I do is I just take a tiny little drop of the fluid and put it on the corner here, and then kind of mix it that way. I use an angled brush. I love this because I have hooded eyes. So I have to be pretty careful with my eyeliner. If I do too thick of eyeliner, you can't see any of my eyelid then. So I like this because it just gives a really natural line, and I can smudge it very easily with the brush into my lashes, which is what makes your lashes look so thick. And then I don't see skin gaps in between my eyelashes once my makeup's done. I have never been able to use pencil on my upper lash line. I just smudge that all over the place. So this gets such a beautiful line. I can do a little cat eye wing with it. I can do a really natural line, and it's just very forgiving. So much more forgiving than a liquid liner or anything else I've tried. So if you're kind of new getting into the eyeliner, highly recommend trying this. And yeah, I think I love having liner on the upper lash line. I just think it does wonders for making your lashes look thicker. Then if I want a little more oomph, a little more defined, if I'm going for a darker eye look, this has been a favorite for years. This is the Physicians Formula 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum. I use Ultra Black. I have recommended this for years. It is wonderful. This one, it's time for me to pull out my backup. I store them like this so that they don't dry out. And this one, the brushes it's starting to get a little funky, but it has, you can see there, the tiniest tip. And so you can do, this is so hard to do, you can do the thinnest little line, or you can really do a thick line. And this is dry, so it's not as black as it should be, but easiest liquid liner I have ever used. It is so nice. So what I'll do, if I'm gonna use this, I always use another liner first, because this is not good for smudging in between lashes. So I'll use the Laura Mercier, and then I'll use this maybe for my wing, which is what I did today, or just go over it, and it is just jet black. So easy to use. I love it because you have so much control. The brush, it's a brush, but it does not spread out. Like it just stays so fine. So you can do a thicker line by just pressing a little harder, or you can get a really fine line. Just a very, very good liquid liner, and from the drugstore. Favorite brow product, these are all coming as no surprise probably to you. This is the Mary Kay Brow Definer Pencil in Blonde. They have a mechanical pencil that's kind of one shade fits all. I do like that one as well. I have no idea where mine is. But this is just, you know, something I always go back to. It is hard to find a blonde shade that is blonde enough, that is not too dark, too taupey. This is just wonderful, and I fill my brows in every day. Love it. I love this just because I like a defined brow. So I like to really, you know, kind of define the edges and things. But if you have if you have blonde hair, you don't want a product that is too dark, that the more you put on, it's just gonna really darken your eyebrows and then look weird. So this is really nice and light, and so I can really fill in, and it keeps my brows looking natural and not too dark. I'm actually working on growing my brows out a little bit, so they're it's been a process, but. A favorite eyeshadow of mine, okay, I should probably mention the Naked palettes. Everybody loves the Naked palettes. I love the Naked palettes, talked about them for years. I have all three. These are the ones that I just reach for the most out of all my palettes, all my eyeshadows. Naked one is definitely the one I would recommend if you're gonna start to get first. For me, it's just so beautiful. I got Naked 3, and I'm still playing around with it. Some of these shades on their own are so beautiful, but I'm having trouble with them looking, like getting a really pretty eye just using these, and not having them look muddy or just kind of messy looking. Muddiness is the issue I've been having with it, but some of these on their own are really pretty. Naked 2 is what I'm wearing today. Love this. Just really beautiful, more cool tones, but they're just such good quality shadows for the price. You don't need me to tell you about them. If you don't have any and you were wanting to know which one to get first, I would recommend getting them in the order. Naked, the original Naked is the number one that I would recommend. Then I would get the second, and then I would get the third. The third, just because pink tones are hard for people to pull off. Like, they're definitely not my color, but I wanted it to play around with it. And some of them are really beautiful. I mean, I don't regret getting it, but I still am working with it. But then this is a single eyeshadow that I use every single day. Like, to go through and use up an eyeshadow takes a lot. And this is my second, and I've already hit pan on it, and I haven't even been using, I mean, maybe I've been using it a year, I don't even know. This is Wet n Wild, the Color Icon single in the shade Creme Brulee, or Brulee. Just a wonderful, wonderful shade. It is so creamy, buttery, it is matte, it's not chalky, it is just awesome, and it is just the perfect base shade for me. Just like a nude, light shade. I used it for my Excuse me, my throat's still bugging me. I used it for my highlight today. What I usually do with this is put an eyeshadow base on, and then I take this and I put it all over my lid, the inside, and then I do my highlight. I leave it away from the outer corner and where I would do my crease because I don't want it to muddy those up. But I love this as a base because, and then I'll put shades over the top of this. Favorite lip balm, by far best I have ever tried in the whole world. I can't imagine loving anything more than this, is the Nivea Lip Butter in Caramel Cream Kiss. Oh my gosh, I still love this every time I use it. I have been through countless number of these. It smells like heaven. I hate products that you put your finger in, so I don't put my finger in this. I just like put my lip right in here, which maybe is weird, but I'm the only one using it. Usually products for your lips that smell good aren't as good for your lips. Usually the stuff that's good for your lips is like Vaseline and stuff that's not really, doesn't smell good. This smells like heaven, and it is the best thing that I have ever found for my lips. If I have cracked, dry lips, I will put this on at night and wake up with fine lips. It is amazing to me, and it's so creamy, it's not sticky, it's not goopy, it's just so wonderful. I just can't praise this enough. And then my favorite lipstick, I can't believe that after all these years, this is still my favorite and still my go-to. And I have so many lipsticks. I have this in my purse at all times, and it's the one I wear 99.9% of the time. I just can't get away from it. Ooh, just knocked my camera here. There we go. This is MAC Viva Glam 2. It is a satin finish lipstick. It is what I'm wearing today. It doesn't look like anything. It does not come across great on camera. It looks a little cool toned and kind of dead on camera. It's not. It is the most just like awesome nude shade for me. I'll swatch it here. It is a mauvey nude. It's a satin finish, and so it's not quite matte, but it's definitely not glossy. And I think the reason I really love this so much is because of the formula. It is just such a great base color. And the formula, so I will put this on, and it's thick, it covers beautifully, it's not glossy, so then you can add to it because it might be a little blah for some of you on its own, but I love it to add a really pretty gloss on. You do a little bit of lighter pink over it. You can really pull this color a lot of different ways, but just such a pretty, like your lips but better shade. And it just, because it has such full coverage, it lasts so long and looks so beautiful. And I think the staying power is just what I really love about it, because my lips have a decent amount of pigment. And so throughout the day, if I have something that's a little more glossy product, you don't get the color of the product because it's my, pinkish red lip color is showing through. So this just really kind of mutes that out, is such a pretty mauvey nude. I just love it. And I know there's that L'Oreal, I forget what the shade is, that everybody says is a dupe. Not a dupe. The formula is different. That is glossy and thin and doesn't last nearly as long as this. This is just thick and rich and gorgeous, and I love just layering things over it. It's just the perfect go-to, slap it on favorite color. So if you have never tried it, give it a shot. So those are my favorite makeup products. This is a crazy long video. I promise the others won't be as long, but let me know what your favorite makeup products have been for the year, and if you have any questions about mine, and I will see you in the next video. See you, everybody.